Right, it's the EdShed again, and we are really concerned with obviously the price of energy nowadays. So we've decided classic energy from power from a wolf. So I'm wondering whether I could power my garage from one of these generators I've got, and it would be more cheaper than paying SSE. Now, obviously, I'm thinking this one is big enough. Obviously, well, we know that. You know, the bloody Einstein word out here. This little thing is big enough, but this little thing is the start of something big. I know the start's big because I'm taking the bits. And you're looking to say, why haven't you finished doing torch bars? Well, I have finished torch bars. Ooh, that smells great. So you don't think that was a problem, do you? You don't think the tank was... Exactly flooding out, is it? It's not exactly a, what you say, like a biblical flood. It's got a little reed valve in there. I haven't seen them for a few years, have you? When was the last time you saw a reed valve? Possibly on a carburetor somewhere. Right. This calls for something different. This calls for something that I'm going to do. And obviously, what I'm going to say to you guys is that I wonder whether the price of energy in your garage, one of these generators might be the best way to go. Because what you do is you can get a load of that stale fuel, which obviously there's going to be lots of it around, because that bloody 10 is just a nightmare. And what we do is we use E10, we filter it, take the ethanol out of it. Obviously that's possibly a little bit brutal, but say we filtered it, took the ethanol out of it, right? If we took the ethanol out of it, then the fuel, alright, it's not going to be nice and clean, but it's going to be infinitely better than what we're talking about here. So what I'm thinking is this could be the way forward. Run the generator on stale fuel. Ooh, little bloody gasket's coming out of there. You bastard, look at that, look at that. Can you see that? It jumps straight out of there. Obviously that's like expanded terribly with the petrol. Ooh, shrinky. I'll probably find an O-ring maybe. Anyway, what do you think? There's your carburetor. There's your choke. There's all your settings, and there's your throttle. Now we know that it ran, but it didn't run on its thing. So what we're going to do is we'll clean it out. Now that is like obviously the valve, look. That's unique, isn't it? I think what we're going to do with this, because it's so small and fragile, is rather than me rip it all to pieces, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean it with some of our famous, whatever it is, carb cleaner from Proper Job. You listen to Proper Job. And if we clean it with some carb cleaner, then maybe, just maybe it'll run. And if it runs, now it says Wolf Power. Now, I don't know how much power Wolf's got. Probably next to bugger all, to be honest. But we can always hope that Wolf's got enough power to do something. Now, I'm thinking that is probably like a light bulb. Coil per cylinder. I'll tell you what, it's quite a bloody, quite an interesting engine, huh? Very, very small, very, very neat. I mean, you could make it wind powered, or could you? Maybe I could. Maybe I could put a wind, because we got a lot of wind right here. I mean, I'm blowing off all the time, and hey, the smell that's around is horrendous. So I'm thinking wind power, and I think from what I've heard, you can reverse the polarity and put a rectifier on it, and make it enough to, I don't know. I'm not electrically minded here, so I'm just talking on the fly here. But what would happen if I made that wind powered, and then I can up the voltage by some batteries, I wonder whether it's possible. Or maybe I'll try it. If it doesn't work, maybe I'll go back to the old idea, which will be get it running. Get it running. Plug into that socket. I get 240 volts. I get enough to run my lights. Okay, so hourly rate, I don't know. But let's just say if electricity's gone up by 54%, and they're already ripping us off anyway, then maybe this is not the last generator you're going to see, because I got bloody 4 or 5 of them around here, and I got some bigger ones than this. I got a massive Honda one down under my ramp down the bottom. So I think I'm going to start all my generators, and I'm going to start getting the jennies out and see whether I can beat SSE for supplying electricity to myself. Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, I think it's a good idea. But we'll come back to it, and you can see that in theory, the theory's good. In Texas, I've heard, a friend of mine says the biggest selling item is diesel generators. And they're installing diesel generators in all the homes with backup because of the problem with solar power and obviously wind. So maybe we need to think like this. I know they're going to squeeze us on the fuel, but guess what? I think as long as electricity, if you think about it, right? If you talk about how much electricity is going to cost to how much it's going to cost you to run a generator, a good diesel generator, which is what they're using anyway, that's what we probably going to need to go back to, guys. We're going to have to say, get big diesel generators and run them with battery backup. We can have solar panels on the roof to charge them. Why not? I'm going to give it a go, because I am sick and tired of it. I mean, it's all very well going, oh yeah, well, it's the future. Yeah, it's your future. When we get away, we ain't got a bloody future, baby. We're at the bloody waiting room, waiting to go in. So everything we do is actually sort of like how do you put it? Everything we do is like what we've done in our lives. This is what we're doing. This is what we've done. This is our generation. The next generation aren't here, are they? What are they doing? Watching fucking Netflix. So, yeah, what I'm going to point out is that with a diesel generator, if we can run a diesel petrol generator for, if one of these would run off E10. Now E10 is not exactly cheap, but the truth of the matter is I think you could probably get a deal with one of the local scrapyards to get their fuel, because I think that fuel is going to be destroying their pumping equipment. So I reckon there's going to be enough supply of fuel for these things, and maybe petrol gen is the way to go, because I don't think diesel will do it, but I don't know. We'll do it on the hourly rate, right? If you think about it, one of these will power what? A burger van, quite nicely all day. So what's a burger van got? He's got a gas hob, he's got lights, he's got a kettle. What have you got in your home? Lights, kettle. Yeah, TV. You know what? I think actually this could be the future. Forget all the ideas of what these people are going. Oh yeah, well, what you're going to do is we're going to keep charging you too much for something that actually you don't need. You can produce it yourself. We can't do it with solar. You can't do it with bloody solar or solar panels. It's just that it doesn't work unless you're living somewhere the sun shines. I mean, I've got a solar light out here, and half the time it doesn't work because it's got no power. And it's got a bloody solar panel about that big, look. So it's bloody useless, to be honest. It's like it illuminates nothing. So I'm thinking that the old Jennies are the way forwards. They're classics. Now that was already made, so I'm not producing any carbon, whatever it is, to produce something. It'll cost more to get rid of that and scrap it than it would be to keep it running. So keeping it running is the way forward, because you can produce electricity with it. And the electricity you produce with that is probably now going to be on a par with what you're paying for fucking SSE. So I'm gonna go with it. I'm going to go with it. If it works on this bastard, I'm going to go with the other three. And it'll make a lot of noise, and I'll probably get loads of problems from the old council. But you know what? What did that guy say on Legends of the Fall? Screw him! Right? That's what he said. And that's what I agree with. So, right here, right now is all we got, guys. And we've already wasted how many years of our lives? 2 years of our lives with a bloody COVID that's ruined everything and destroyed people. And I think it's sad because we let it happen. And I don't want to go into whether there is or was or isn't, but I'll tell you one thing I will say is that you only got one time on this planet, and everything you do is what you've done in your life. It doesn't mean anything to anyone else. To them, it's just sell it, get the cash, sell it. And I think I'm getting sort of a little bit on that side, because when I watch this American, I watch that Mr. Was it Good Pliers, and I watch some of these people that go into places like this and go, oh, he collected this shit, and it's all in it. It's just an auction. Yeah, £1 I got, £1, yeah, £1. And when you see that, it does make me sad, because they talk about the person who collected all those cars. They talk about the person who had all those things. But the sad bit about it is they don't realise that person had a life. He kept all that, and he had the same ideas I had. Everything in here might come in useful one day, yeah? And in your lifetime it might do. When you're gone, they're all in like fucking vampires, picking their way through it. Oh yeah, we'll have that, we'll have this, we'll have that, that's all worth, oh yeah, that's crap, that's scrap man. I just think it's sad. I think it's so fucking sad. And I think the moral of that story is that maybe don't collect things in your life. Don't be a hoarder. Don't collect stuff. Maybe you're right. Maybe get rid of everything. Maybe just have all the money in the bank. Because now you're getting 5% interest and you have to pay 22% tax on it. So it's great, isn't it? Thank you so much. They're doing us a real favour, aren't they? But in reality, they're not. Their bloody wind turbines cost more to make in energy than they produce in their lifetime, useful lifetime, and then they bury the bloody blades in the ground because they're fiberglass and they can't recycle them. We are being screwed over here, and it's nothing to do with the classic industry. It's to do with the whole world, because you've been sold an idea that you have to have an electric car that's now going to cost you 54% more to run. I don't know whether anyone's catching up on this, but I'll tell you one thing. I'm glad that I'm in the waiting room, because the people who are now outside, their lives are going to be genuinely and in 2030 we're going to have mass unemployment, we're going to have some riots, maybe we're going to have some civil unrest, because if they start saying, right, you have to do this, that and the other, why? Who are they controlling? The planet's existed for millions of years. They're telling us about all this global warming, but you see, the problem I've got with global warming is I look at geology. And geologists said that every 10,000 years there's a cataclysmic event. Now, hang on a minute, we're in this one. So it isn't us. It doesn't matter how much bloody fuel, oil or diesel we burn. Because China, Asia, Russia, America, Mexico, South America, yeah, they might have bloody wood, paper, straws. But you know what? They're still driving around. They still want cars. They are still countries that are going to, whatever we do, we suffer so they can boom. Yeah, well, what? Because we did something wrong. What we were the empire, weren't we? Yeah. So now we have to pay. Well, you know what? As I said, Legends of the Fall. Screw them. Screw the lot of it. Because what we're doing here is we're keeping something alive that otherwise would just be recycled into a washing machine. That would be thrown away. 2 seconds later, be made into another washing machine. Made into another washing machine. How many frickin' washing machines can you make out of this? I mean, like I said, how many washing machines can you make out of a useful piece of steel? Nothing. That's just heavy, right? So there you go. Heavy. This, light iron. Rubbish. Light iron, yeah? But the bend, it's great. Isn't it amazing that we see things as one thing, they see them as something else. We see them as our toys, our collection, our stuff. And it's only your stuff as long as you're still stuck in bloody wind. It's sad, guys. Life is really weird. And for all the youngsters that I watch on the TV, I watch on the YouTube, I watch the Americans, I watch the young kids, I look at it and I think, when you see the people at the auction, you see us, you see me, my generation, you see the old people walking around looking at the cars. They're looking at them. And they actually think in their dreams that when they're looking at the cars, that it's going to be, they're going to fix that, they're going to fix that, they're going to fix that. The only thing they got is the money to buy it. They haven't got the life to fix it. So, you guys have been here and you've been at the EdShed and you've seen the crap. And you've seen the crap I collected and all the years I wasted. And although I can do things, it's hard. You just realise one day that you haven't got the energy, you haven't got the enthusiasm. And in reality, you don't want to do it. Hey guys, thanks for watching my channel. If you enjoy watching my channel, please like and subscribe. Click that little button there, click that little bell there, click something, just click, alright? And comment down there. That's wrong. Don't go down there, just comment down there, alright?